Hello there. Well, I'm here again to our MDJ. I want to talk about how it's going in my language learning studies and what I've been thinking through the future. Well, the first thing that I want to say is that I restarted to study French. I was not doing that. I had stopped it for a while, but now I'm getting back to French, and like I want to keep study French, not too seriously, but just have contact with the language. I'm doing basically two things. Watching 30 minutes of CI per day, like every day I'm trying to watch 30 minutes, and also the second thing that I'm doing is that I'm um, doing flashcards, right? I'm using the dual cards app for study with flashcards. I'm using the dual cards app because it's practical. I don't have to do complicated things like I do in Enki, so I'm just using them to get back better in the language. I'm not too criteriously looking which flashcards I'm putting on my deck. I'm just putting the ones that the app recommends me to do so. But I'm watching CI, so the big majority of flashcards are either cognates of Portuguese and English, or are words that I'm familiarized with. So that's what I'm doing with my French. For my English, it's following a very different approach. I'm trying to create a method that I will try to follow, but realistically, I'm not studying English consistently. Although I'm producing here and there language, and also in about the content consumption, I'm consuming mainly in English. Like the contents that I consume are mainly in English. Um, I I will try to focus more on the English, like in the language of English than French for now, because I want to master English before move on to other languages. Like I'm doing French also, but I want to master English and reach a reasonable level in French so I can adventure into other other languages. I have a really um, I have a great interest in Latin. I probably will be the next language that I will learn. Moreover to English and French, I will learn Latin. There is also Russian and Japanese that I have the aim to learn. Ancient Greek, for example, that I also am interested in. And that's it about my language, really. Uh, I did a proof, a math proof yesterday, only in English. So it was great because I was able to study math at the same time that I practice English. So I was doing the both the things at the same time, and I was uh, searching for words, trying to create a reasonable proof and like a proper mathematical proof, and that's what I've been doing for uh, yesterday. Like the content production that I made yesterday was basically that. I'm consuming a lot of music also, English music mainly, but I'm trying to consume French music as well. In the morning, now I'm in my break. Like I'm I'm not in school this month because the summer break, So in the morning I'm studying uh, French. I'm trying to study French in the morning. I started 2 days ago, restarted to be realistic, so I'm not in a high level of French right now. I'm A1 for sure. And for my English, I'm trying to do the rest of um, the things in English. And like, I want to have this morning for French, the rest of the day for English. That's my goal. French and English for now. I should be recording more videos for the channel, but it's not a thing that I'm worried with. That's not a big concern of mine. It's basically, I like the channel, I like to record here, but it's not a thing that I will be able to keep recording daily as I proposed it to myself many times. Being realistic, I cannot commit to record daily because there is so much stuff to do, and the sometimes we can't do the things that we propose to. So it's better not say anything about the consistency. Um, but that's it for my language. I want to get back to play the violin also here in the channel, and I'm not practicing since then. That's a shame because the violin is very an instrument that I really enjoy, and an activity that I guess that is good for me, for my mental health, and for my overall health, because it involves the part artistic and also the physical part of being there practicing. Whether we want or not, the violin and any instrument really demands in some degree a physical activity, and that's helpful to everyday stuff. Um, well, this is this video is quite fast, quite quick. I don't have a lot to talk. I just want to talk about my languages and how I'm doing so. Oh, another thing that I've been thinking of is about my accent, whether I should try to evolve some specific accent or not. As I said, I was highly interested in the British accent, more specifically the MRP, modern received pronunciation. But nowadays I don't know if I want to go there because the American accent is far more easy to evolve because there is a bunch of content for American accent, and I really enjoy the standard American accent, the very neutral when the way that it sounds. It's really enjoyable for me, pleasant. It's really pleasant. The British accent, don't get me wrong, I love the British accent and the British people, but I don't know how I will implement my goal to have a better accent, and I don't want my accent to sound a mix of all the accents that is out there, because that makes harder to understand what I'm trying to say and what I mean. So for now, I think that I'm not going to focus on British accent necessarily. I will try to evolve my pronunciation overall, aiming for a more neutral approach. I mean, look, I'm talking normally right now. I'm not trying to pay attention to each word which I'm talking. Uh, and what is going on is closer to American accent than is to British accent. So my my accent in normally tends to be more American than British. So I don't know, because the big majority of the content that I consume is indeed American. So I really don't know about the accent type of thing. Probably I shouldn't worry too much about this, and I won't. I will not like. I will not make this a big deal. It's not. You know, it's uh overall it's not important whether you have a perfect accent or no, because you can be understood if you have a reasonable pronunciation. But again, I need to think about this. It will depend where I will try to go, because as I said before many times, I have the will to get out of my country and to move abroad to study. Um, this is important thing. I mean, the English is important thing, and I should be thinking where I'm going to live, because if I'm going to live, for example, in the UK, it's better to have the British accent, and because I will fit more in the place. If I'm going to live in the USA, for example, it's better to have an American accent, and Canada, a Canadian accent, Australian accent, etc. So the place that I'm going to live uh, will have an impact of whether I try to um, make my accent closer to this or that type of talking. And English by itself it, it's in a situation quite peculiar now, because I can talk freely. I can talk a lot about many things, and I can chat with you about a lot of things. Really, I can talk about my goals, what I enjoy, what I don't like, etc. At the same time that I'm not 100% proficient. Probably I do think that I'm around the B2, the C1 level, more closer to C1 than to B2. Although my speaking tends to be more into B2 category, but I think that I'm closer to C1 than to B2. Yet I'm not fully C1, I think. I would like to try to do those exams, those language exams, to know if I could pass into the C1 exam or not. I will probably search for some online exam of English, and if I can, like, if I will be able to get a C1 certificate in English, my goal is to become C2. Really, I want to English I want to have English as a second nature. I want to be able to express myself in English as I do in Portuguese, without any problem. Although Portuguese and English are quite different, and Portuguese I want to have a more specific approach that is more turning out to national things and to regional things and to let's say emotional things. It's far more easy to think analytical in English than it is in Portuguese, I think. Although it's quite natural to think analytical in Portuguese, I would not say, as some people say, oh, you know what? And I almost don't think in Portuguese. In my case, my native language is Portuguese, but people say, oh, I think in English every day. I think in English every time. That doesn't happen with me, really. Uh, I can think in English if I want to, but normally I don't think in any language. I just think. It's weird for me because I cannot understand how people think in different language. Yeah, I can understand, but automatically when I think in the concept more than in any language. Uh, when I'm not when I'm not uh, aware that I'm been thinking about that specific topic. I just think about the concept itself, not in languages necessarily. I do not think, oh, now I will think in Portuguese. Now I will think in English, or I will try to think in French, for example. No, that doesn't happen with me automatically. When I'm automatically thinking, when I'm not talking, I'm just thinking the concept. But if when I try to organize my thoughts, then I need to use language, my thinking. I don't know if that makes sense and if this reflection is anything useful, but I think that's quite a point, right? Right. It's quite important to think about those things. Um, so that's it. I think that I need to push myself harder to get to the C2 level. I will first to get a very solid C1. A very solid C1 is basically what a native, mostly a level of proficiency that a native most usually do have. Like a random native probably will be around the C1 in proficiency. The C2 is quite advanced, but I want to become C2. I want to be able to write in English, novels, artistic stuff like poetry and those things. At the same time that I'm be able to write about uh, write about mathematics, logic, to write proofs in math, type of thing. I really enjoy this. And really, I cannot mm, understand why people likes to talk about those things. Um, like separate English. I understand what they mean, and I grab. I can understand. I grasp your concept. I understand you, but some people just want to talk that they know English, and they are not humble in it. They want to be they want to sound smart. They want to sound clever, while at the same time they are sound stupid because they try to refuse their own native language to have proficiency in English. But you don't need to reject and neglect your native language to have a really good proficiency in English. And that's my reflection for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Uh, as I as always, I started talking about a random topic here in the my daily journal series. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I don't know, comment and subscribe and give your like here in the video. See you guys soon. Bye.